Hey, everybody, welcome in. It's David Summers, and here comes another Studcast with the Tennessee stud, Ron Fuller. This is the story of wrestling in America as told by the stud, whose family started the profession 100 years ago. So now, let's step back into the ring, back into time. Let's get wall-to-wall, tree-top tall with the Tennessee stud, Ron Fuller. Hey, Ron, folks are probably wondering what happened last week, and welcome, by the way, to another Studcast. It's hard to believe. This is number 398, only two away from the 400th Studcast, Ron. Listen, you've been faithful. You've barely missed a Studcast all this time. I know when your mom passed away, rest her soul, you obviously took a week off. Everybody knew you deserved that. But what happened? Do you want to talk about last week?
Well, yeah, actually I do, and I'm glad you start out there, Dave, and I think it certainly fans deserve a reason for missing one. And so actually what happened last week is I actually moved, man, and it was really a nice move for me, really. And I had been living in an apartment, which I hadn't lived in apartments for a long, long time, years and years, maybe 30 years. Yeah. And I kind of got tired of that type of life, and I found me a home, man, a really nice home that has great features in the house itself, but in the back, Dave, I got myself a little fenced-in back porch, and there's nothing behind me for two football fields. Wow. Except a big field full of grass, tall grass, and maybe I think possibly 1,000 birds.
Wow!
I've never seen so many birds. So, I'm able to go out on the back deck now and sit there, got a little bird feeder up, and and just watch the show all day long. So so that's what I was doing. Moving is, everybody knows moving is one of the worst things that can happen in your life.
Yeah.
The experience of it. But, once you get into a nice place, it's well worth it. And I had to move, and there was no way I could fit into Studcast as well. So I want to apologize to everybody out there, and we're going to make up for it here today. We got a great one for you.
Oh, no doubt. And listen, it's understandable. As a younger man, it's easier, and I can tell you that too. Easier to live in an apartment. As you begin to age, you value your privacy a lot more. And then when you find a place like you did, and you can get settled in, there's absolutely nothing like it. So I'm really happy that you regained your privacy. It can get so loud in apartment complexes, and I feel your pain on that one. All right, so again, we're back, and only two away from the 400th episode, Ron.
That's hard to believe, Dave. That's more than 7.5 years of Studcast.
Wow. I mean, literally almost one every week since 2018.
Yes. Pretty amazing, isn't it?
So this one has 8 videos and around 30 minutes of total wrestling and interviews. So it sounds like we better get started to get this thing underway. So set us up with the card for this Studcast and what week we're focusing on.
We're going to be talking about, the end of the second week in April and the beginning of the third week, actually, in April of 1981. Birmingham's going to be the first town that week, which was on April the 13th, 1981. And the week was going to finish in Pensacola on Sunday, April 19th. The week before this Studcast ended in Pensacola on Sunday night with a special loser leaves Southeastern match between the United States Junior Heavyweight Champion Stan Lane and Pensacola's own Robert Gibson. And the winner was going to be the United States Junior Heavyweight Champion and stay in Southeastern, and the loser was going to be gone, man. So we're going to be discussing this match a little bit later on in this Studcast. And speaking of Robert Gibson, I saw him and his partner, Ricky Morton, the Rock and Roll Express, last Saturday night, man, at an event I went to in Johnson City, Tennessee.
Wow.
They were still on the road, man, and still doing it, and still very popular.
That's amazing. So you run into these two guys, and now we're talking about them. So, I mean, it's a small world. That is so cool. So how long have these two been wrestling? I mean, literally around the world.
Well, I'm not exactly sure about exactly how long it is, but it seems like they started wrestling together. It seems like in the early 1990s, and they're still going strong, man. 30 years later, and and they're just getting back. They were just getting back from the WWE WrestleMania event in Las Vegas.
Wow.
And in this studcast, Robert Gibson was wrestling on another Southeastern card in 1981. And so when you look at that from 1981 to present day, that was 44 years ago that Robert Gibson was in the ring.
Yeah, I was barely born by then. So anyway, all right, it's hard to believe, Stud. Robert Gibson in the ring for 44 years and still going. That is so awesome. All right, speaking of still going, how about you set us up with the Southeastern card for this Studcast in 1981.
This was one of the biggest months in Southeastern history, man. And this card was the first of three back-to-back spectacular events. Since Birmingham had no wrestling the week before, we picked up an old Birmingham star from the Nick Goulas era years earlier. We got a guy named Bearcat Brown, very popular in that mid-American territory that had wrestling in Birmingham for years and years. And Bearcat Brown opened up the night against a new masked guy called El Diablo. Then there was 4 straight championship matches on this card, 2 of which were return matches for belts, because both Masa Saito and Ken Lucas had lost their belts the week before. So the first championship match was for the United States Junior Heavyweight belt of Stan Lane against the fan favorite Jerry Stubbs. Lane had just beaten Robert Gibson in the loser leaves Southeastern match the night before in Pensacola, Florida. After the wild arm wrestling event on TV in the last cast the week before, where Saito had opened a cut on Paul Orndorff's head, Paul was pretty darn upset about it. And Saito was the Alabama champion, and Paul was hungry enough and just mad enough to actually beat Saito for one of the first matches that he lost in Southeastern. And that was to a young Paul Orndorff, who was at that point the new Alabama champion. In the next championship match, Bob and Brad Armstrong had returned as a tag team. They'd been wrestling singles almost for 2 months at this point, and they were getting a special Texas Rules Tornado match, championship match, with the Southeastern Tag Champions Dennis Condrey and Randy Rose. And this was going to be with all 4 men in the ring, same time. That's what Tornado Rules were. And in the last title match of the night for the Southeastern belt, Ken Lucas had lost his belt to Ron Bass the week before and was getting a return match to try and win back the Southeastern title again. So the last match on the card was a non-sanctioned by the NWA, which they didn't like these type of matches, and they would not sanction them. It was a Southeastern Southern street fight. Anything goes. You could wear anything. You could use whatever you brought with you in the ring as a weapon. And it was me against Jimmy Golden.
Wow. I mean, a spectacular card. Absolutely. 4 championship matches and a Southern street fight. So how did the TV show promote this card? How did it open up on the show?
Well, this one was a loaded TV show, man. We had 2 new champions on it from the week before. Paul Orndorff had captured the Alabama belt from Masa Saito, and Ron Bass was not only the new Southeastern champion, but he was going to be defending on this TV show that we're about to talk about. He was going to be defending his belt on the main event of the TV show. So he's going to have a big day. And after Charlie and Les ran down what was coming on this card, they threw it to the ring for the first TV match of the day.
All right, I think you said earlier, Stud, that this TV show was going to have 8 videos in it. So our producer, Brian, is going to set up that first video, the opening match from this TV show. This is going to be fun. Here we go.
On in the tag team match, introducing in the corner to my left at a combined weight of 441 pounds, Ken Lucas and Ray Harris. Lucas and Harris. Their opponents at a combined weight of 472 pounds, Dennis Condrey and Randy Rose. Condrey and Rose.
I always say the Southeastern Tag Champions, Condrey and Rose, against Ray Harris and Ken Lucas. Tag action today on Southeastern Wrestling. Still to come, our television main event, which will be a Southeastern Heavyweight Championship match, Les.
That's right. Ron Bass will be defending the title of Roy Wells. But right now, it's Randy Rose out against Ken Lucas. Respective starters for their teams. And, of course, Ken Lucas, a battle in the first water. Condrey Rose hanging on tight to those tag team belts. Right now, the Armstrongs breathing down their neck. Blocked by Rose. Lucas kicks him away. Luke on the move now. Hooks that arm bar. Windmills it. Rolls over. Kicks free.
And the two in the corners with much respect for each other, I would imagine. Back into grip center of the ring. Side headlock by Rose.
You don't have a lot of respect for Ken Lucas, don't wrestling, because he's going to annihilate you, no doubt about that. Randy Rose, I'm sure, is aware of that, but Rose no slouch himself by any stretch of the imagination. Nicely blocked by Luke.
Ken Lucas, one of the favorites in the Southeastern Wrestling area. And we mentioned earlier that professional wrestling has been used for many years as fundraisers in schools, clubs, civic organizations, any nonprofit organization. And if your school or club in your community are interested in having wrestling in your community as a fundraiser, you can write us at Southeastern Championship Wrestling, P.O. Box 1089, Dothan, Alabama, 36301.
The knee lift by Randy Rose to Ray Harris. Of course, Harris will be the man they'll be keying on here, Charlie. Ray, the least experienced. They'll try and wrestle around Lucas and try and corner Harris and keep him in check. Nice breakdown there by Dennis Condrey at the front face lock. Harris trying to move back to his feet. Harris spotting the weight here. Ray, a tough competitor, learning with each outing. Nice switch there. Coming up reversal onto the hammerlock on Dennis Condrey. But Condrey and Rose, as I've said time and time again, they'll peck away at you. They'll find a weakness. They'll stay with it until they can defeat you. They're not an awesome big play tag team, but they can take this so many ways, and they've proven it time and time again. Tenaciously hang on those belts. Harris trying to sit down now. Condrey blocking. Use that weight. The quarter Nelsons him and hooks him. Harris being blocked down now. Ray needs to reach up and make that tag. Let's see if he's going to, but Condrey holds him off with a full Nelson. There's where the weight, the power, the size of Condrey comes in handy with Harris. Rose over onto that second rope. It's legal as long as he does not make the dive or the jump off that top rope. Rose takes him in, shoots him across the ring now. Hooks in. Good move by Randy Rose, and Charlie, Rose, and Condrey are doing exactly what we were talking about, keying on Ray Harris.
And on the count of two, Randy Rose pulls his man up. Tag is made with his cousin Dennis Condrey, and they continue to administer the punishment here to Ray Harris.
That front face lock, very, very effective for Dennis now, applying the pressure. And Harris trying to make the corner. Let's see if he's going to reach him.
He's inching his way over. Possibly the tag was made. It was not seen by ring official Larry Brock.
Brock missed that tag, and of course that means the tag was unofficial. Rose, that flying dive there, clotheslining Harris, and Rose pulls him up by the hair. They're planning on doing a little damage here, Charlie.
Two count again, and Randy Rose pulls his man up. Tag is made with Dennis Condrey. You got to hand it to him. Dynamic tag team combination, the Southeastern Tag Champions. Rose and Condrey, and the tag is made with Lucas. Lucas fires away at Condrey. Lucas coming over. Catching Rose, back over to Condrey.
Luke trying to neutralize both of them at the same time and doing a fair job of it right now. Right hand of Kenny's.
Lightning fast.
Luke takes him across. Ring goes for the sleeper. Kenny had to move here. Rolls off that second rope and breaks it up. Condrey moving back at Lucas now, and Kenny stunned from the assault from behind by Randy Rose. Dennis Condrey taking full advantage, makes the tag. Rose moves in and and Condrey switching well. They've got the advantage on the veteran now. Let's see how they're going to handle it, Charlie.
And it's Rose. Lucas, good move by Kenny. Snap there, takedown, Ken Lucas.
Drives that knee in there, Charlie. Luke's going to try for the pin, gets the 2. Rose bails out.
Ken Lucas, a hard man to hold down in that ring. Both men colliding, and both men are down.
Both men stunned, Charlie. The referee starts a double count here on both wrestlers.
Both men needing to make tags. Luke makes a tag with Ray Harris, and we have 2 freshmen in the ring.
Rose blocking him, momentarily slowing him down. Condrey takes advantage, turns to the eyes of Ray Harris. Harris in trouble now, and Condrey, realizing the fresh man in, tried to neutralize him immediately and did it. Dennis Condrey on the attack now with Ray Harris. Harris backs him into the ropes, though. And there's Rose in again, and here they are pecking away. Lucas moves in, and he's being put out by referee Larry Brock. Rose stays in for his team now. Sends Harris across to the elbow of Dennis Condrey.
Rose takes Harris into the ropes. Power slam.
And they've got it on the 3 count with the power slam. Randy Rose with a mighty press wins it for Condrey and Rose.
And your winners of the match, the Southeastern Tag Champions, Randy Rose and Dennis Condrey. And they're that excellent team.
All right, Dennis Condrey and Randy Rose were dominating just about every team at this point. Ken Lucas held his own, but a young Ray Harris was no competition for the Southeastern Tag Champions.
There wasn't a lot of teams in the world that were as good as Condrey and Rose at this point. And as soon as this match was over, Dave, Bob and Brad Armstrong, they came to the set and they watched their first tag match in almost 2 months. And that was against the champions, Dennis Condrey and Randy Rose, from the week before.
All right, let's go with that video, and here it is.
The father-son wrestling team, and now tag team partners, Bob and Brad Armstrong. And Bob, Southeastern tag titles are very much on the minds of the Armstrongs, and let's roll some videotape right now of a recent match in which you were in action against the tag team champions.
That's right. Brad and I have been pushing for those tag team titles, and this is a match like we had with Condrey and Rose. It got rough and rugged. Brad and I seem to be holding our own here. And we've been trying like all get out to get those tag team titles. We've come so close, Charlie, so close, but yet so far, you know. And right here you'll see in a second or two where things get kind of wild and woolly. And like I've said so many times, when you see Condrey and Rose, you see Saito. Now, in this match, things were going our way, and then the tables turned. As you know, it can in pro wrestling. One good lick will change things around for you. Now, that got me going pretty good here, threw Brad out of the ring. And they seem to have things going their way. And here Condrey comes in, hits me while Rose is holding me, which is one of their favorite tactics. They like a 2-on-1 situation. They like for one man to hold him while the other one beats the devil out of him. But you can see Rose now, he's having a field day. He's knocking my head around. He thinks everything is real sharp. But I got in a pretty bad way here, and I just started swinging, just started hitting anybody that was close, started knocking, jumping, jiving, hitting anybody I could, just trying to keep from getting my shoulders pinned. Here came Brad. He started in on them, and for a minute there, we looked like things were going to go our way. You'll see in just a second here, there's Condrey. Blinded Brad, he'll start to slam him here, but Brad used a real good move. When he comes up, he kicks, goes behind, and right into the abdominal stretch. Rose did me the same way. I kicked back, and right here, we had them both. It looked like that the tag team titles would be ours. We had them both down, pinned, and here comes Saito as usual. But, you know, this time we had an ace in the hole. We've kind of formed an alliance with Paul Orndorff, and here comes Paul and kept things from getting real bad, and we had just turned into an all-out fight, and, brother, everybody started fighting, knocking, and scratching. And I'm just real thankful Paul was watching the match, because if he hadn't, you know, we might have suffered permanent injury or something. Everybody was fighting and knocking. Finally, they decided discretion was the better part of valor, and they took a powder. Now, the only thing good about this was that we didn't get hurt. But the thing that was real bad about it is we didn't win the titles. Because, as you know, on a disqualification, the titles don't change hands, and they use that quite often. Here you can see they raise our hands. We won the match, but it was kind of a shallow victory, because when you when you fight that hard and that long and you think you got things going your way and you see those tag titles in your eyes, and then Mr. Saito enters. Just like I said, I want to thank Paul for coming in. It prevented bodily injury, but we didn't get the titles. They've still got them. We're still pushing. And you know, you notice there a lot of that match was all 4 men in the ring at the same time. Now, there's a match they call the Tornado Tag Team match. That's where all 4 men in the ring all the time, no tagging. You don't have to worry about bag jumping. From the start, from the time the bell rings, all 4 men can be in the ring and just fight it out. And I think that's what we're going to have with Condrey and Rose to get it settled one way or the other.
Well, again, Saito got involved, but this time, so did Paul Orndorff. That's why the next tag title match was going to be with Tornado rules and had all 4 men in the ring at the same time. All right, so our producer Brian is going to play the interview between the Armstrongs and the champions, Condrey and Rose, regarding the upcoming Tornado tag match. Here it is.
Tag team champions Randy Rose and Dennis Condrey. They defend those titles Monday night in a Tornado rules match. That's all 4 wrestlers in the ring at the same time. And let's hear from their opponents, Bob and Brad Armstrong.
You know, when we get to Boutwell Auditorium there in Birmingham, we ain't got to worry, Brad, about tagging in and out, about them jumping us in the back and everything, because we're going to start with all 4 men in the ring, and it's going to be legal. A Tornado match, and it is for the Southeastern tag titles. How many weeks now have we had them jumping in without tagging here and there, doing everything, stomping on our heads? So now, in Monday night, we're going to start. The referee's going to be there just to hear a man give up or count them shoulders down. 4 men, 8 arms, 8 legs, swinging and knocking. Well, I shouldn't say 4 men. I should say 2 men and 2 sissies. But I'll promise you this, there'll be a lot of jaws jacked in Boutwell.
Gentlemen, the belts are on the line. All 4 wrestlers in the ring at the same time.
You know, Thatcher, when we step in our cars and start that trip to Birmingham, we have a long time to think about exactly what we're going to do to our opponents. We have a long time to think how we put these hams upside them heads, how we can bust them open, and how we want all 4 of us to be in the ring at once. That's exactly what we want, Armstrong, and that's the way it's going to be. And we're going to find out once and for all who is the best.
Randy, it's a tough type of competition. Your belts are at stake.
Bob Armstrong's talking about sissy. Let me show you sissy. I'm going to stick this thing up your, you know what, Bob Armstrong, and you're going to find out sissy. Have you ever seen a sissy with something, Mr. Big Boy? Let me tell you something. Our cousin Jewel Aiken, he told us about the Tornado match. You ain't never been in no Tornado, son. There ain't no sissy going to be in that ring except for your son, illegitimate son.
A Super Southeastern Wrestling lineup Monday night, Birmingham's Boutwell Auditorium.
You know, Stud, things were getting hot and heavy from the very start of this TV show. So what was in the second segment of the show?
Stan Lane was the man at this point, and he was the United States Junior Heavyweight Champion. And he came to the set. He was going to watch a loser leaves Southeastern match, the one between him and Robert Gibson. That took place in Pensacola, Florida, basically the night before this week started. Yep, it's going to be old Stan Lane here, and we're going to be looking at Robert Gibson, we just talked about.
All right, let's do it. Our producer Brian's going to roll that one, and bang, here comes another video.
Match for me where you're mighty wrong, because when I step into that ring with you, all heck's going to break loose, brother. Somebody's going to get hurt, Saito, before this is all over.
Ron, this is the match you've been wanting.
That's right. Non-sanctioned. Nobody wants to touch it, but come Monday night in Boutwell, I'm going to be kicking your butt with these boots, Jimmy Golden. I'm going to be wearing them. I got a bunch of these. I ain't got just one. I got about 4 or 5 of them, and exactly what they say is going to come true Monday night. Your butt is mine in Boutwell.
Now, Les, it is obvious that this feud situation between Golden and Fuller is nowhere near its end.
It's certainly not. We want to mention that next week on Personality Profile, we're going to talk about a unique type of match, a Japanese death match. We're talking to Mr. Saito about that, Charlie.
I'd like to thank every one of you for joining us. Thanks to our director, Jerry Finn. See you next week. That along with Les Thatcher, welcome to Southeastern Championship Wrestling. Les, in the next hour, we'll be seeing Dennis Condrey in action against Roy Welch.
That's right. And, of course, the battle for the Southeastern Tag Team belts goes on. We'll be seeing taped highlights of a match between Condrey and Rose and the Armstrongs.
Jerry Stubbs goes against Sonny Driver.
And, of course, on videotape, United States Junior Heavyweight Champion Stan Lane, he'll be taking on Robert Gibson.
We'll have personality profile, plus former North American Heavyweight Champion Paul Orndorff is in action against Joe Turner today.
And again on tape for the Southern Street Fight match between the cousins, Ron Fuller and Jimmy Golden. Of course, we have Jimmy Golden in live action today, Charlie.
A lot of action coming your way in the next hour right here on Southeastern Championship Wrestling, and a lot of action taking place throughout the arenas here in the Southeastern Wrestling area. It's about time for our first match of the day to get underway, so let's go to the ring now for the introduction.
Your attention, please. Our first match, one fall, 10-minute time limit. Your referee, Bruce Sportson. Bruce Sportson, your referee. Introducing in the corner to my left, at 224 pounds from Oklahoma, Roy Welch. Roy Welch. His opponent at 242 pounds from Charlotte, North Carolina, Dennis Condrey. Condrey.
Half of the Southeastern Tag title holders, a team of Condrey and Rose. You see Rose stepping out of the ring. Singles action today. Condrey against Roy Welch.
We don't see Dennis in singles matches too often, or at least not in recent months, but he is a very, very capable singles wrestler, and he's got a tough veteran out against him, Roy Welch. So there's the bell, collar and elbow. Welch takes the initiative, backs him into that rope, and on the break, Roy is ready for him. Dennis started to move on him, Charlie, but Roy anticipated. Top wrist lock by Condrey. Welch makes the switch. Dennis goes to the ropes, and he'll get the break.
Although he's been devoting most of his time now to tag competition with his cousin, Randy Rose. Dennis Condrey, in previous times, has been very successful as a singles action, once holding the Georgia Heavyweight Championship among other titles.
That's true. Many wrestlers prefer one type of competition or the other, Charlie, tag or singles. Condrey has excelled in both, held belts in both, and that means he's a well-rounded athlete, a well-rounded wrestler. A lot of people don't agree with his style, his methods, but nonetheless, he does produce in the professional ranks. That's what it's all about, taking the dollars and cents to the bank.
Right now, a little test of strength, standing wrist lock, and possibly Condrey using the shortcut by pulling the hair.
Once again, they're right back in their headlock this time by Roy Welch, and he's applying the pressure. Condrey goes to one knee, back to his feet now, locks into the hair there, but the referee calls for the break. Condrey shoots him off, drops low. Welch over the top. Roy hooks the headlock, throws the hip in and the takedown. Back in command. Condrey rolls him over. And these men are making a pretty good pace here, Charlie.
Welch with a side headlock. Condrey rolls this man over again, using that bottom rope for leverage.
Condrey gets his toes over that bottom strand of rope. The referee calls for the break. Roy up cautiously. Set to move in. Condrey coming to his feet now. Nice go behind by Condrey. Hooks the cradle, takes the man down, gets a 2 count. Condrey in control now, has the leg hook. And apparently from the reaction of the fans, maybe using the tights there for leverage. Charlie, we can't see it on our television screen. But this is the type of thing that Condrey and Rose do well. They'll pick away at you, take the little advantages they can out of sight of the referee, try to put it all together and take home the victory. Condrey here with the leg of Welch broken over the back of his neck. He's got it bent in that way. Had a nice grapevine on it. But now applying that pressure and trying to get those shoulders down. And I'd say, yes, he's using a bit of the tights there for leverage, Charlie.
Condrey going in a right. He lift. Doubles Welch over. Now Condrey going from that turnbuckle. Condrey opening up.
Condrey goes in behind, hooks that abdominal stretch. Now he's near the ropes. Dennis likes to use a little leverage off those ropes. He's got it there. And again, as the referee moves around to take a look, Dennis turns loose of the rope, And as far as the ref can see, everything is legal. Condrey breaks loose, goes after Welch, gets the body press on him, and a 2 count. Roy bails out. That knee again, Condrey using it effectively several times in this contest. The elbow now down across the back of the neck. And another knee. And another. Condrey opening up now. Possessing a chance possibly to put Roy away, but don't count the veteran Roy Welch out.
Condrey takes his man up, body slam. Dropping the knee, but Welch quickly moves out of the way. Welch, connection to the side of the head.
Condrey went to the well once too often with that knee. Roy Welch taking advantage now, opens up his attack of his own. Body slam. Roy goes high and comes down with a knee drop. Going for the press here, but couldn't get a good handle. Condrey bails out. Condrey, a powerful man at about 242. Randy Rose moving out the ringside. Roy, I think this is maybe a diversion here. Condrey with that clothesline as Roy turned around. And Charlie, they work well as a team even when they're not in tag team action.
Rose out, diverting Welch's attention, and Condrey catching Welch as he turns back around with that quick clothesline, and there you see Condrey takes the match. Your winner, one half of the Southeastern Tag Champions, Dennis Condrey. Our first event here on Southeastern Championship Wrestling today. Bob and Brad Armstrong coming out to join us, and along with Jerry Stubbs. Gentlemen, we have some videotape of a previous match in which you were against the tag team combination of Rose and Condrey. If we could, let's roll that piece of videotape. And Bob, it was a very hard-fought match.
It was. It was a tornado match where all 4 men are in the ring at the same time, and as you know, it could go either way. We've always said what's good for the goose is good for the gander, and you never can tell what will happen in a match like this. And here Brad and I have been working on moves as a team, and here you can see we both hooked the sleeper. We thought we had everything under control, but you know, every time something happens here, he dropped, he pulled the referee into me, hit me right over the eye. It knocked me goofy, it knocked the referee goofy. They got rid of Brad, and here they had things going their way. They thought they had me all to their mercy. And in a minute, you're going to see the third element. Now, they're doing a job on me. They're real happy about it. But you're going to see Brother Saito, who I call the terrific trio, Condrey, Rose, and Saito. Here he comes out. He passes his Oriental-type winner there. And when I got up, brother, all I saw was white. He hit me in the eyes with that, and it burned like fire. Here you can see they're going to get the count. They thought they had me beat. Thank goodness the other referee was watching. Also, Paul Orndorff, who's been giving us a hand, came into the ring and saw that everything was taken care of. And believe me, that Oriental gentleman, he got involved there. It was none of his business. He shouldn't have been involved. We had things going. It backfired on him, and although that we do finally win this match, Charlie, it's by disqualification. And as you know, the belts don't change on disqualification. It's such a shallow victory, and it's so sickening to have those belts right in the palm of your hand and have them slip through right away. They've salted me down so much that I feel like a finely cured ham myself. I've had so much salt all over my body. And here they're going to give us the match, but it didn't really mean that much because we didn't win the titles. What we're after is the titles. The way to hurt Condrey and Rose is win the belts. That's what we intend to do some way, some shape or form. We're going to win those tag team title belts, and then Condrey and Rose, you'll be walking way behind with your tail tucked between your legs, and we'll have the belts on us. Thank you, Charlie.
Father-son wrestling team of Bob and Brad Armstrong will return with more action on Southeastern Championship Wrestling.
For a Southeastern Wrestling card. For reservations and information, call 322-7798. Boutwell box office open at 6:30 p.m. Monday night. In the main event, a 10-round boxing match. Ron Fuller, seconded by Ken Lucas, battles Jimmy Golden, seconded by Ron Bass. The Southeastern Tag Team title on the line in a 4-man elimination match as Randy Rose and Dennis Condrey square off with Bob and Brad Armstrong. The Alabama title at stake, no disqualification as Mr. Saito meets Paul Orndorff. In a challenge tag team match, Ken Lucas teams with Jerry Stubbs to take on Ron Bass and Stan Lane. And Roberto Soto opens against the Angel. 10 rounds of boxing, Ron Fuller against Jimmy Golden. The Southeastern Tag Team title at stake, Randy Rose and Dennis Condrey against the Armstrongs. Mr. Saito against Paul Orndorff. Lucas and Stubbs against Bass and Lane. And Roberto Soto against the Angel. It all comes together Monday night, Birmingham's Boutwell Auditorium, bell time, 8 p.m. Super lineup of wrestling action Monday night, Boutwell Auditorium. The box office opens 6:30 p.m., Monday night. One of the highlighted matches, The Southeastern Tag Team Champions, Rose and Condrey, defend against Bob and Brad Armstrong in a 4-man elimination match. Before I talk to the challengers, let's hear from the champions.
People of Birmingham, Alabama, we are sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired of the Armstrongs thinking they are a better team than Condrey and Rose. So what we're going to do, we're going to find out once and for all right there in Boutwell Auditorium who the best team is. We're going to lay our game plan down to you people right now. We're going to take Bob Armstrong. We're going to beat him. He has to go back to the dressing room. And then Brad Armstrong, we're going to take your ugly mug. And we're going to take these hams, baby. And everything on your face is open, we're going to close. And everything is closed, we're going to open, Jack.
We're going to pop all them zits that you couldn't get rid of as a kid, Bradley.
Acne.
Well, Brad, it's apparent Rose and Condrey are planning on keying on you. How do you feel about it?
Well, you know, Les, I've never been in an elimination match like this before, but Dad's been helping me out a heck of a lot. And what we're going to do is we're keying on that first fall. That's what we're doing, is keying on that first fall, because after that, it's going to be 2-on-1, and I just hope it's these two on one of those.
Bob, indeed, the first fall is all important.
Exactly right. Elimination is, like they say, elimination match, which is as follows. When you lose, you leave. Somebody's going to get beat out of 4 men, and they must go to the dressing room, and that's going to leave 2-on-1. Brad and I have worked very hard together. They're talking about game this and game that. Well, we ain't coming to play. We're coming to stay. And in Boutwell, somebody's liable to get hurt. They've got all their plans laid down, Les. They've got it figured that they're going to beat one of us. Well, what if we just turn that around? Who says that we can't beat them? I'll say this. We've never said we're a better team. I think we're as good. Brad's still a rookie. He hasn't even been wrestling a year yet, but he's got the heart, he's got the gall, and he's ready to go. And in Birmingham, we'll prove we're as good. We'll end up 2-on-1, and we'll get Condrey or Rose.
The championship wrestling on its way to your area, and Florella this week, also wrestling in Atmore this week. Joining me now, Jerry Stubbs and Ken Lucas. Jerry, the former NWA World Junior Heavyweight Champion, also former U.S. Junior Heavyweight Champion. Ken Lucas, former Southeastern Heavyweight Champion. Both of you two gentlemen have met with problems in the last few weeks of getting title matches from two specific gentlemen, Stan Lane, the holder of the U.S. Junior title, and in your case, Ken Ron Bass, holder of the Southeastern Heavyweight Championship.
That's correct, Charlie. You know, Ron Bass has got the belt now, and Stan Lane's also got a belt, and both times that myself and Jerry's asked those guys to defend those belts, the first thing they said, no way. So I can't see how these guys can be champions with any type of fortitude behind them, because myself and Jerry's in a tag match, and we've got these guys, and if we get a win over them, then we're going to get a chance at those belts. And I'm going to tell you something, Bass. I'm coming right at you, my man. You know what I'm going to do.
Jerry, you held that U.S. Junior title longer than any other man, and before we get your comments on your problems with Stan Lane putting up that title, let's hear the comments of Stan Lane and Ron Bass.
You know, Stan, when you're the king, you got people kind of chasing you. I've got one, Mr. Ken Lucas. Every time I turn around, I see an ugly face staring at me. He's wanting title matches. He's wanting no disqualification matches. He's wanting everything in the world. But Ken Lucas, you're not the champion now, my friend. I'm the champion. I'm the one that makes stipulations, and it's going to be my way or it won't be at all. Now, I know, Stan, you got one, Jerry Stubbs, that keeps nipping at you, son. What's he going to do, my friend?
You know, Ron, isn't life sweet? We're on top of the world. Movie contracts flooding into our apartments every day. Rock stars calling us up. We're on top of the world. We'll stay here because we'll keep these belts forever.
Jerry?
You know, it seems to me, Charlie, that they're both running scared. Well, Stan Lane, we got you both in a tag match. When we defeat you, you're going to have to put the belts up, and we will be the new champions.
Comments of Jerry Stubbs and Ken Lucas.
Our next match, 1 fall, 10-minute time limit. Introducing in the corner to my left, at 225 pounds from Atlanta, Georgia, Jerry Stubbs. Jerry Stubbs. His opponent at 218 pounds from Jacksonville, Florida, Sonny Driver. Sonny Driver.
Sonny Driver taking on the former NWA World Junior Heavyweight Champion, Jerry Stubbs.
And also the former U.S. Junior Heavyweight Champion, Jerry Stubbs. Collar and elbow, Charlie, and Stubby with a nice fireman carry takedown. Goes to the arm bar. So Driver with his work cut out for him here. Jerry Stubbs has really come into his own the last year and a half of his professional career. Watched this gentleman as he's progressed, and certainly has become one of the complete wrestlers in the junior heavyweight division. And I think Les Thornton and Stan Lane both should be leery of Stubbs, having beaten Thornton twice for the world title, having held the U.S. junior title longer than any other man in that division for that title. Jerry, as I say, has come into his own and become a very, very capable champion or contender, no matter which side of that coin that he happens to be on. Right now with the hammerlock on Sonny Driver. And Driver's a pretty tough character, Charlie. He lacks of experience, but Driver gets in there and digs. But as you can see right now, Stubbs controlling, Jerry key-locking, through on the hammerlock from the front side. Driver, but Stubby hangs on.
Stubbs still holding on with that hammerlock.
Jerry trying a combination on the head now. Driver coming up and finds the ropes. Couldn't make it to his feet, but was able to lunge into those ropes. He'll get the break. Once again, jockeying for position. Stubbs back to the arm with the arm bar. Oh, and over the high side with that fireman Jerry, and into the arm bar. Jerry has control here, Charlie, and Driver needs to open up, needs to get out in front to gain some momentum here. The experience definitely rides with the man from Atlanta, Jerry Stubbs. And looking carefully on the break, but Driver goes in underneath with a punch, and now a knee and another knee. So here's Sonny Driver making his move now to try and dominate offensively. Driver opening up now and goes for the slam and sends Stubbs crashing to the canvas. Driver trying for a body press here. Stubby kicking out right on that one count. Driver didn't have his man hooked. Bad try, and Jerry doubles him up and goes with a forearm smash. Spins him around, sets him up now. He's going to the ropes with him. Takes him back for the backdrop. So Driver had his chance to control, and finding a flaw in the armor, reversed the tables, and now Jerry Stubbs back in the driver's seat and moving in on Sonny Driver, setting him up, trying to pull him away. Forearm again, staggers Driver back into that corner. It was all he could do to stay on his feet with that and field out. And Stubbs now moving in to take control again.
Stubbs takes his man into the turnbuckle. Snap and takedown. Stubbs in control. Two count.
Jerry trying to grapevine that leg, but Driver was moving as Jerry got his leg cinched in there. Couldn't hang on. Suplex. And let's see if Stubby puts him away here. The Driver gets out on the 2 count, so Sonny Driver hanging in there. Stubbs going neck breaker.
Well executed by Stubbs. Moving in again on Driver.
Headbutt. Don't see Jerry use that one often, Charlie, but Driver certainly was dazed with it. Stubby shoots him in. Shot to the midsection. Double Sonny Driver up.
Driver barely on his feet, back into the ropes. And Jerry Stubbs power slam. That's it.
That's a good move, and one that's won a lot of matches for Jerry Stubbs. He does well with that power slam and comes... And we're talking about the junior heavyweight division when we talk about Jerry Stubbs, and the man in control of the U.S. junior heavyweight title right now. Stan Lane is joining us on the set, Charlie, and Lane has had a succession of tough challengers. We're going to take a look at one of these men as he takes on Robert Gibbs.
If we could, let's roll the videotape upstairs, Wayne. Stan Lane in action in the arenas.
You know, Charlie Flatt, I want every man, every woman, every child across the nation right now watching me on national TV to listen to what I'm saying and take note. Sit up and take note of this. The new wave is coming, brother. It's rolling, it's getting bigger and bigger. The new wave is coming your way.
Lane in action against Robert Gibson in this particular piece of videotape, and Les and I just talking while you're on your way to the out to the desk of the many challengers you have now campaigning in this southeastern wrestling area.
I might mention one thing, young Robert Gibson, the man challenged me in a TV match here, right here on TV last week. I injured the kid's leg. He had no business getting in the ring again with me in Dothan that night, but the guy must be crazy or sick or a little pain, a masochist or something. But he signed a match, and I injured the guy. The guy, Leroy Van Dyke, called me from the Trailways bus station and said the guy hopped a bus, a one-way ticket to Hicksville, USA, and we'll see no more of young punk Robert Gibson. The guy's hurt, and he's gone for good.
Lane climbing back into the ring.
Look at the guy throwing punches down. That's all he can do. Look at this move right here. Russian leg sweep right on the back of the neck, the base of the skull right there. It's all over for Robert Gibson. 1, 2, 3 coming up right here. Look at there. 1, 2, 3. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, your U.S. Junior Heavyweight Champion gets his arms raised in victory.
There you see the action and the comments from the U.S. Junior Heavyweight Champion Stan Lane. And we'll be back with our personality profile when Southeastern Championship Wrestling continues.
An interesting hobby, an unusual outside business interest, a controversial match decision, or a wrestling issue important to fans. If it's news and involves a wrestler within our reach, you'll see it here on Southeastern Championship Wrestling Personality Profile.
My guest today on Personality Profile, the father-son wrestling team of Bob and Brad Armstrong. Bob, Brad, welcome. A lot of action taking place in the southeastern wrestling area now, and a lot of emphasis being put on tag action.
Exactly right. You know, Condrey and Rose, the current Southeastern Tag Team Champions, have had those belts for quite a while. And as everybody knows, it's no secret, Brad and I have vowed to get those belts one way or the other. We've been through quite a few different type matches with them for those belts, and somehow they always just kind of slip through our hands. But you know, I've talked to Brad a lot about it. We train hard together, and when I train with Brad, I don't let up. I train hard. When I hit him hard, because I want him to learn the hard way. I want him to know how it feels to be hurt, because that's what professional wrestling is all about, pain. You have to get used to pain to be a pro wrestler. He's only 18 years old, and already I feel like he's come a long way. I'm very proud of him. Condrey and Rose, on the other hand, are cousins. They grew up together. They know each other's moves, and they're one heck of a tag team. I can't take anything away from them. I've got to give the devil his due, but I'm saying this. I believe with all my heart and soul that Brad Armstrong and Bob Armstrong can become the Southeastern Tag Team Champions. We won these titles before. Everybody said it's a fluke. They were lucky. Maybe we were, maybe we weren't. Since that time, Brad's gone out onto his own. He's won the U.S. Junior title. He's gained a lot of experience wrestling as a single wrestler. And believe me, you learn a lot that way. But tag team action is completely different. Condrey and Rose are some of the best. But we're out to prove something. We're out to prove that we can be champions again. We're out to prove that, you know, you don't only have to be good, that old Mother Nature and Mother Luck plays a lot. You have to be in the right place at the right time. And one of these days, these titles are going to stop slipping through our hands, and we're going to win those titles. And when we do, it's going to be the proudest day of my life.
Brad, I know you're happy to be wrestling with your father as a tag team partner.
Exactly right, Charlie. You know, me and Dad went our separate ways for a while. We wrestled in singles, and when you wrestle in singles, you either learn or you lose, and you learn the hard way. I learned the hard way, and that way you don't forget it. So I feel like that I've possibly strengthened my end of the tag team here, so maybe I can give Dad a little bit more help with Condrey and Rose.
Condrey and Rose, the Southeastern Tag Team Champions, and earlier today we got the comments from the champions.
Well, you know, cuz all the way through kindergarten, grammar school, high school, it didn't matter. As long as we were together, we never lost. When my cousin here would be in a little bit of trouble, we had an old saying that old Uncle Red Neckerson told us about, holler down a whopping, and we'd come to help each other. And we have never been beat as a team or as singles. It don't really matter. I'm going to tell you something too, Armstrongs. There's no way that you're going to beat us. Mother Nature, Mother Luck, it don't matter who you get. Mother Armstrong, it don't really matter, does it, cuz?
It sure don't. You know, we had a football coach at Central High School, baby. His name was Tater Graham. And he always had a motto he used to tell us. He'd say, Dennis Condrey, Randy Rose, you can do anything you want to do in life. You can be on top in football. You can be the best in baseball, basketball. but our love was wrestling, baby. We wanted to be the best in wrestling. And he said, if you two guys will live by this one motto, you will become champions. And that's exactly what we did. He had a motto. It went something like this. You remember it, cuz? It went something like, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you, but do it first. And that's exactly what we've been doing, baby. All of our lives, we've been getting down. Street fighting, mud fighting, wrestling, boxing. It don't matter. Playing football. And we always won, because we're winners.
Often imitated, but never duplicated.
Never duplicated. And we got something right here in our hands to show that all the work, all the striving, all the coming up fights, street fights, baby, we won them all. And this right here is the proof.
I think coming up in the Southeastern Wrestling area, a unique type of match involving you and Brad, in which sometime during the match it will end up 2-on-1 because it will be an elimination match between you, Brad, and these two.
Right, and it took a lot of thought for me to put Brad into something like this, Charlie. You know, it's going to be a very dangerous type match, and if we should happen to lose that first fall and either Brad and I have to go to the dressing room, it's going to be very dangerous for the other one. Now, I'm sure that what Conjuring Rose will try to do is beat me first, where they'll have Brad all to themselves. But I talked to Brad, and Brad's got an awful lot of gumption. He said, let's do it, Dad. Let's sign the contract. We did sign the contract. We're in for it. We know we are, but we're training hard, and who knows what will happen. I mean, nobody can actually predict what will happen in professional wrestling. Maybe we'll be champions.
Comments with Bob and Brad Armstrong, now tag team partners here in the Southeastern Wrestling area.
Our next match, one fall, 10-minute time limit. Introducing in the corner to my left at 235 pounds from Tampa, Florida, Paul Orndorff. His opponent at 250 pounds from Mobile, Alabama, Joe Turner. Joe Turner.
Joe Turner taking on Paul Orndorff on Southeastern Championship Wrestling. Orndorff, of course, former North American heavyweight champion, outstanding competitor.
Joe Turner, a tough campaigner, but Orndorff, one of the top conditioned professional wrestlers in the sport today. Arm wrestling champion, a former footballer with the New Orleans Saints as a tailback, fullback. Top wrist lock. Turner goes to the ropes to get the break. Once again, collar and elbow. Orndorff comes up with the headlock now. Let's see what Joe's going to do to counter that. Orndorff clamping down. And of course, Orndorff and Saito have battled for quite some time now over that Alabama title, Charlie, and Saito wanting that belt. Orndorff, the proud wearer of it at this time. Nice break there. Expected Turner to do something, but Orndorff fires kick. Putting that knee in alongside the head to gain a little leverage. Now the foot.
Orndorff controlling that left arm of Joe Turner.
You know, I think Paul, Charlie, is an ideal size for a pro today. At about 240, good condition, has the speed at that weight, has the power from his conditioning, his weightlifting exercises, and the man is very well put together and a complete athlete, no doubt about it. Nice hook on the hammerlock takedown by Paul Orndorff. Turner with about 20-pound weight advantage, but having no luck using that weight at this point. Again, Orndorff keying through from the front on that hammerlock.
Clamping down, applying pressure, and let's see what Turner can do. Jab into the rib cage, and again, Turner looking for some means of escape. Orndorff, arm twist. Orndorff stays in control.
Turner hasn't been able to use his bulk, his size to bull his way into the lead offensively, and Orndorff has stayed right on top of him. Of course, Paul operates that way. Coming out with that slam on the counter is Joe Turner, moving back to the corner, though, trying to get the circulation going in that arm. Turner being a bit careful now as they go back in cover elbow. Orndorff goes in deep with the arm drag, take down the arm bar, and he's keyed on that arm. Orndorff has stayed with that arm and keeping Turner on the canvas, controlling. Orndorff is not a flamboyant wrestler, is not an aerialist, but a very productive and efficient athlete.
Connection to the head by Turner staggers Orndorff over on those ropes. And again, Turner with the right connection.
Turner taking over. And Orndorff right back at him. Firing away. 2 quick jabs in midsection. Moves in now. Little shoulder jab. And Turner catches him with that knee. Paul spinning around, staggered down to his knees now. Joe Turner with a chance to take over control here. Moves in with that knee again. It's been very effective for him.
Turner with a knee. Using it very effectively against Orndorff. Orndorff now back to his feet.
And Orndorff catches him as he goes over the top. Sunset flipped him, but Turner, using the legs on across the ears there, was able to break free.
Orndorff. Series of right connections has Turner staggered.
Turner not getting that head of speed necessary to take over. Fighting to get out. Orndorff pulling him back, not letting him go. Saito! Apparently a handful of something, Charlie. Powder, stole, I don't know what. But he's moving it up Paul Orndorff now, blinded by whatever it was Saito threw. Saito chopping away. The man from Tampa, Florida. Variety thrust.
Saito going after Orndorff.
Roy Welch sure does pulling Orndorff out of harm's way.
Hopefully Paul will be okay. We'll be back in just a moment with more on...
For reservations and information, call 322-7798. The Boutwell box office opens at 6:30 p.m. Monday night. On that one, of course, the 10-round boxing match between Ron Fuller and Jimmy Golden. The tag team champions, Rose and Connery, defending against the Armstrongs in a 4-man elimination. And the Alabama state champion, with me now, Paul Orndorff, defends in a no disqualification match against former champion Mr. Saito. Before I talk to Paul, let's hear from Saito.
Paul Orndorff, you, me, are no disqualification. This is everything legal. Karate good, karate kick good, everything. Just my match. This is a tough man winner. But you American wrestler, you are soft wrestler. I am tough Japanese. That's guarantee I'm strong and I winner. 日本の皆さん、日本人の強いと必ず見せてあげます。
Paul, the former champion, Mr. Saito, he wants this belt, and of course, as he says, no disqualification, anything goes. It's going to be a tough road to hoe.
That's very true. You know, Saito has so many ways that he can come at you. You know, he knows karate. He knows kung fu. He amateur wrestled for Japan. He was a national champion over there. So there's so many ways that Saito can attack me, and I know that. But there again, too, that you know, I know a lot what he does because I've watched him. I've studied his films. Hopefully I'll gain something from that. But I know this is going to be a very tough match. I know it's his kind of a match. If I've ever been an underdog, I would have to say that I'm a little bit of an underdog right now. But that makes no difference because when I played football, I played against guys that weighed 300 pounds, and I had to block them, and I did it. And that's just what I'm going to do, go out there with Saito. I'm going out there with one thing in mind, and that's to hold on to this belt. I know what it means to him. And I know what it means to me. That means a lot of money and prestige, and I'm just going out there and do the best job that I can, and hopefully I can defeat him.
Paul, good luck to you. Monday night, Birmingham's Boutwell Auditorium, a super Southeastern wrestling lineup.
Jimmy Golden Golden coming out to join us. Jimmy, we have some...
Before I get down to business, I got some things I want to say about this Tennessee stud, the Ron Fuller. You know, that boy is the sorest loser I have ever seen in my life. He can't stand to lose, and he loses all the time, and I just love it. I swear I love beating that man better than anything, better than eating chocolate pie.
We have some videotape.
I got a film right. Put it up there. I want the people to see what a true gentleman that I am and what a true boxer that I am. You know, this is where I got the idea for a boxing match. Look at this. I want you to look at this film now. It's just filthy, nasty Ron Fuller trying to take my clothes off.
This was a 7 street fight match. No rules to the match at all.
One Charlie Platt, and you're just like him, too. So you let me do the talking up here because you know nothing about wrestling. Right here, I knocked his lights out, baby, with that boot of his he come wearing in the ring. He was supposed to whip me with the boot. I took his boot off and whipped him with it. And right here we have a double collision, and both of us are down. And let me tell you something. They cut a lot of this film out, but I give Ron Fuller the licking of his life in this street fight match. But the best is yet to come. What I want you to see is coming up here in just a few minutes where I really knock him out with a good right cross. Now right here I figure I'm going to put the icing on the cake and wipe him out real good. But he come up with his boot, a little surprise for me. And I'll have to say he did me a good one right there. Very few of the ones that he ever did give me. He couldn't knock me out with his fist, but he might have did it with a boot right there. He didn't beat me here. The referee didn't make it. No, that wasn't a 3 count there. He did not make a 3 count. The match is not over. The match is not over. The finish is fixing to come right here in just a second. Right here, it's going to come up. You're going to see me box like nobody else has ever boxed before. You people just hold it down.
With the assistance of Ron Bass.
Right here, look at me.
With the
combinations left and right. The referee's in the way. I got to get him out of the way. But, brother, I am jabbing him and hooking him, combination him, brother. You're talking about a real gentleman's sport, a real gentleman's match. This is it. A good old boxing match. That's the way to really settle things just right now. There comes the jerk, little fat Ken Lucas coming here, interrupting the match. But he's nothing anyway. So there goes your winner right there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to tell you, I came up with the greatest idea, a way to really settle it between me and old Ron Fuller. A good gentleman's match, a good old boxing match, man. And I'm going to tell you, I've won titles all over the country in boxing. That's where I got these big arms with boxing. I won the Tennessee Golden Gloves Championship. I have beat them all, brother. I have taken care of business. And I'm going to tell you something, what I'm going to do right now. You see this man up here that got in the ring? Yes. I'm fixing to go up here, and I'm going to box him severely around the head and ears. I'm going to give him a good boxing lesson. Ron Fuller, I want you to pay close attention, son, because it's just an example of what you're going to get tonight.
Let's go to the ring now for the introduction of our next match of the day.
Our next match, 1 fall TV time remaining. Introducing in the corner to my left at 220 pounds from Montgomery, Alabama, Burrhead Jones. His opponent at 232 pounds from Montgomery, Alabama, Jimmy Golden. All
right, here we go. Jimmy Golden in action against Burrhead Jones.
Jimmy Golden keyed up, man. Look at this. Look at this. Putting up those dukes. Larry Holmes, what do you think, Charlie? I don't know. Here, Golden's supposed to be wrestling Burrhead. And Golden throwing those jabs in there. Burrhead in and double legs him. Both for scoring points. Golden gets the points for boxing. Burrhead gets the points for wrestling.
Golden again with the jab. Golden connecting.
Spins Burrhead around a little bit with that one, and again blows him down. And I would think the referee would be calling these punches here.
And
he dropped him hard there, Charlie.
Golden dropping Jones straight down. Hard right connection. And zones all but out.
Look at here. He's up there dancing around like he just won the World Boxing title.
And with all of this talk of boxing going around here in the Southeastern Wrestling area, we had a chance to see what two participants are doing as far as preparation for this boxing. We came today to find the Jimmy Golden and get some of his comments on an upcoming boxing match here in the Southeastern Wrestling area and what kind of special training is taking place for your boxing match, Jimmy.
You know, I've been in real tough training, man, getting ready for this boxing match, and you know, I just can't hardly wait because I've been taking all this time. I've been wrestling this Ron Fuller, and I've been wrestling him in his style of matches, and I have been beating him in his style of matches. And I watched myself in a film in a street fight match where I was boxing his jaws with left and rights and combinations, and I said, you know, that is really Jimmy Golden's style. That's a real gentleman's game. It's a good old boxing match because I ain't a cheater, you know, and a good boxing match can really get things settled. You know, Charlie Platt, that's where I got these big old arms and shoulders, is boxing up in Tennessee, you know. I won the Tennessee State Golden Gloves title, the Southern Golden Gloves title, boxed up in Chicago, and you know, that is really my style, is a good old boxing match. And you know something, I've been punching here and working out here on this little bag. Here's old Tennessee Stud and his mask right there. I'm gonna put it right up there so he looks real nice. And you know something, Charlie, when I put these gloves on, it just really does something to this arm. The power that I get in this arm is unreal. It's like turning on a light switch, you know. Jack Dempsey and Muhammad Ali would have loved to have the power that Jimmy Golden's got in this arm right here. And I'm gonna tell you something, Ron Fuller, Tennessee Stud, I'm gonna knock you right out of the arena, boy, because I've been getting ready for you. And like I said, this is a real gentleman's game, a real gentleman's match, a good old boxing match, and I'm gonna beat you black and blue, boy, severely around the head and ears I'm talking about, to where your mama and daddy won't even know your face when you go home.
Here you have a comment.
Now you guys go on and don't be bothering me no more, because I don't want everybody to know about my secret training.
Comments of Jimmy Golden, a brief history of his previous boxing experience and some of the training he's going through. Now let's get some comments from the Fuller camp from Les Thatcher.
Thank you, Charlie, and we are indeed in the Ron Fuller training camp for the big boxing match, and Ron training with friend Ken Lucas now, punching at Kenny's hands. And Ron, I know there's a method to your madness here. It's not exactly Ken Lucas you're looking at, but as you can hear, Ken Lucas saying is...
I'm thinking about it. I don't know how Golden's trying to train for this, but I'll tell you what I'm training for. Left, right. I've been running 5 miles a day, and I'm going to beat Golden's brains out in this boxing match.
Well, let's get a look here at what Ron Fuller's been punching
right here, Mr. Golden. That's what you're going to see, what's going to happen to Mr. Golden's face when Ron Fuller gets through with him, I'll guarantee you.
Kenny's been working with me all week. We've been training. We've been in Pensacola punching the big bag down at the gym. We're looking forward to it. Golden, I don't know how you've been training, but you better be ready, son, because we are ready.
Boxing, Ron Fuller and Jimmy Golden.
And Les, with that, I've never seen Jimmy Golden with the gloves on, but I have seen the Tennessee Stud in action in boxing.
According to Jimmy Golden, he's certainly got a long list of creditable boxing appearances, calling about Golden Glove titles. I don't really know, but I'll say this, that the two of them are big, powerful men, and they start throwing those gloves around, Charlie, somebody's going to get hurt, no doubt about it. It's going to be something to see.
There you see the training methods and of two participants here in the Southeastern Wrestling area who decide to straighten their differences in the ring, but in a different way.
Yeah, it keeps building ahead of steam, doesn't it, with Golden and Fuller. It never seems to come to an end, and I don't know where the end is or whether it's ever in sight, Charlie.
We'll be back with more of Southeastern Championship Wrestling in just a moment.
Wrestling card. For reservations and information, call 322-7798. Gotwell box office open at 6:30 p.m. Monday night. In the main event, a 10-round boxing match. Ron Fuller, seconded by Ken Lucas, battles Jimmy Golden, seconded by Ron Bass. The Southeastern Tag Team title on the line in a 4-man elimination match as Randy Rose and Dennis Condrey square off with Bob and Brad Armstrong. The Alabama title at stake, no disqualification, as Mr. Saito meets Paul Orndorff in a challenge tag team match. Ken Lucas teams with Jerry Stubbs to take on Ron Bass and Stan Lane. And Roberto Soto opens against the Angel. 10 rounds of boxing. Ron Fuller against Jimmy Golden. The Southeastern tag team title at stake. Randy Rose and Dennis Condrey against the Armstrongs. Mr. Saito against Paul Orndorff. Lucas and Stubbs against Bass and Lane. And Roberto Soto against the Angel. It all comes together Monday night. Birmingham's Boutwell Auditorium. Bell time, 8 p.m. Boutwell box office opens at 6:30 p.m. on Monday night for the tickets to this outstanding Southeastern wrestling card. And of course, the main event is 10 rounds of boxing. Ron Fuller with me now, seconded by Ken Lucas, going against cousin Jimmy Golden, seconded by outlaw Ron Bass. Before I talk to Fuller and Lucas, let's hear from Golden and Bass.
You know what, Brother Ron, it's a real shame. That Tennessee stud, Ron Fuller, is a sore loser. He can't stand to lose, and he's been losing all his life, especially when he steps in the ring with Jimmy Golden, brother. And I'm going to tell you something. I am the greatest at boxing. I won the Tennessee title, Golden Gloves at boxing, the Southern Golden Gloves boxing. I've been boxing all over the world, Daddy. That's where I got these big arms right here. And this is a real gentleman's game because I'm a gentleman, a good match to settle some business in, and that's what I'm going to do in Birmingham, baby. And you know, ladies and gentlemen, I've already taken the mask off of the Tennessee stud, and now I'm going to knock your head off in Birmingham, Jack. I'm going to beat you black and blue, Daddy. This ain't going to be no Rocky movie. I'm going to get some real meat.
Golden talking about gentlemen, Ron. Do you plan on being a gentleman Monday night?
Well, I certainly don't. And, you know, I won't be sitting in a chair like a little blow-up dummy, son. I will be in there with bells on, my boy.
You know, Stud, there was certainly no doubt about the end of that match, and I'm sure fans were going to miss Robert Gibson, absolutely. Was there anything else in that segment, Stud?
Yes, there definitely was, actually. Jerry Stubbs came to the ring for a match, and Stan Lane stayed at the set to watch the match with Charlie and Les. And Lane had nothing good, obviously, to say about Stubbs, but he was quick to leave the set when Stubbs won the match, and then he made a move to come and get him at the set. So he made a hasty retreat to the dressing room, Lane did. And Stubbs then made some comments about watching Lane beat Gibson in that match that Lane had just watched, where he beat Gibson in the loser leaves Southeastern match right before his TV match. And he wanted Lane to know that he may have sent Robert Gibson, I'm sorry. He may have sent Robert Gibson packing, but Jerry Stubbs wasn't going anywhere, he said. And he said, I'm still here. And he says, now I'm going to get my junior heavyweight belt back real soon.
All right. So, I mean, obviously this was becoming a very contentious TV show. So set up the personality profile that was coming up. What was that about?
Well, it was my turn, man, to watch a video of a recent match with Jimmy Golden and explaining why I wanted a Southern Street Fight match with Golden.
All right, let's go back to our producer, Brian, and set up that video. Here it is.
Championship Wrestling, my guest is the Tennessee stud, Ron Fuller. And Ron will be discussing the continuing feud between you and Jimmy Golden. And this all involves the Fuller family.
That's right. And it also involves the fact that I want to take Jimmy Golden's head off. And I have been able to sign a match. I requested it. International Sports put it before Jimmy Golden, and it's already been signed. A non-sanctioned Southern Street Fight, something I saw on the program a few weeks ago that involved 6 people, only this time it's just going to be me and Jimmy Golden. Anything goes, wear anything you want to in the ring, come prepared to fight and go to war, and that's what I want with Jimmy Golden.
We have some videotape, Ron, of a recent match in which you were taking on Jimmy Golden on your return, and here's that film footage.
Well, this is the same type of match that Jimmy Golden and I have had every time we have met in any arena in the southeastern area. I'm bleeding, Jimmy Golden is bleeding, the referees are down, and they're going to stay down because I don't think there's any need for a referee when we meet. I've already told the gentlemen from International Sports Incorporated not to sign any referees. Don't waste their money by paying referees because they're going to be of no use in anything matches that we have. Because I'm not going to be abiding by the rules, and I know that Golden doesn't know how to abide by the rules to begin with. So as you can see here, this match is just completely out of control. The match has already stopped at this point, but we're going to fight for another 6 or 8 minutes before they're able to pull us apart. And
That's the reason I've asked for this street fight. Like I said, I saw it on TV a few weeks ago involving 6 people. It was wild. It was vicious. It's exactly what I want with Jimmy Golden. I want to be able to use my boots. I want to be able to use my fists. I want to be able to use my belt. I want to be able to use my shirt if I feel like it, to pull it off and wrap it around his throat and choke him to death if necessary. Now you can see here a fella coming to save him is Joe Turner, and he takes a quick exit via the top rope right there. And it's right back to Jimmy Golden. And at this point, Golden is completely out of it. I don't think he even knows where he is. Here comes his boyfriend, Ron Bass. Here comes Lane, pretty boy Lane. Everybody in there trying to break it up at this point, but I'm like an old pit bull. I done got my jaws locked, and I ain't going nowhere, son. I'm going to hang on to that throat till the boy's head comes off his shoulder. That's when I'll turn him loose. You can see everybody trying to separate us here.
Seems to be nothing in sight as far as stopping this feud between you and Jimmy Golden. He seems possessed with some kind of drive to keep hounding on the Fuller family.
Well, we're both possessed, Charlie, with wanting to kill each other. That's about what it amounts to. We're both possessed with the fact that I hate him, he hates me, and we want to fight. That's all there is to it. Now here you can see a whole ring full of people, and when they all separate and they're all gone, you still see the stud there. He's still pounding on that boy's head, and I'm going to choke him here. They're going to drag him by the feet out of my reach, the only way they can get him out of there. And you see everybody here trying to pull us back, trying to pull us apart. But in a street fight, there is none of this, Charlie Platt. They don't come down to the ring and they don't separate you because there's no rules to begin with. Why come down and why pull anybody apart? Because the rules say you can do anything you want to. There'll be no stopping a street fight. They're just going to let it go until one of us can't get up anymore, till one of us can't come back anymore. Now you can see Golden's got a little more left. He ain't had enough yet. He's going to ease around here. He wants a little bit more. And in just a second, that's exactly what he's going to get. He's going to get himself a little bit more. And when he does, he's going to decide that's all he wants. Now he's had enough. Well, in the street fight, you're going to get enough, Jimmy Golden. You're going to have more than you can handle, my man.
Comment to the Tennessee stud, Ron Fuller. Let's hear the comments now of Jimmy Golden.
Ron Fuller, I'm wondering what kind of excuse you're going to come up with, sonny. You know, you're always saying Jimmy Golden did this, Jimmy Golden did that, or he had this, or he had that. You are running out of excuses. You're running out of time. You're running out of space. And what I'm going to do to you, I'm going to step into the ring with you in a Texas street fight match, and I am so confident in myself that I'm going to come down there dressed for a wedding, brother. I'm going to have my suit on. I'm going to be looking slick like I am right now, you understand me? And when I get through with you, boy, you go to China. You're not going to stop in California. You're going all the way.
Let me just say this, Jimmy Golden. I will be there on the 13th, and I'll be ready for a street fight. And you see these right here, don't you, boy? I've been sitting at home, and I dream at night of kicking you in the throat with these boots. And that's exactly what I'm going to be able to do. I'm going to wear the biggest belt I got, one that'll cut the hide off your back, and I'm going to take this boot, and I'm going to hammer it, and hammer it until I feel like I've done a good job on you, Jimmy Golden.
All right, so you and Jimmy Golden were having some of the most violent matches ever during this time frame, right after Golden and Bass had attacked your father, obviously. So what was coming up in the next segment on this TV show?
Well, Massa Saito was in the ring and very upset about losing the Alabama championship to Paul Orndorff the week before. And he took some of that aggravation out on a poor job boy, man, that had to be carried from the ring.
Oh, no.
Wow. I mean, when Saito, he was bad enough when he wasn't mad, but when he was mad, I'd never seen him do this type of thing. And wow, he just really, I think he had everybody in the dressing room going, wow. He was going far beyond what I'd ever seen him before.
Wow. All right. So anything else in this TV segment?
Yes, as a matter of fact, there was another interview with me and Orndorff and Golden and Saito.
All right. Hey, I want to see it. So let's get Brian, our producer, to set up the next video. Here we go.
Excitement Monday night, Birmingham's Boutwell Auditorium, bell time 8 p.m. With me, the new Alabama State Heavyweight Wrestling Champion, Paul Orndorff, and Ron Fuller, the Tennessee stud. Orndorff defends that title against the man he defeated for the belt, Mr. Saito, on Monday night, and Ron Fuller goes against cousin Jimmy Golden in a Southern street fight match non-sanctioned by Southeastern Wrestling. Let's hear now from Golden and Saito.
Muzzlehead Paul Orndorff. Last time you cheat me. I'm so hot. This next Monday night, this big, strong chop, and all over chop in the face. Face chop, head chop, body chop, leg chop. You knock down, you take a hospital. You know I'm a tough Japanese. You know it.
Right on, Brother Saito. You know that Ron Fuller is a sick man. He's like Skippy Boy from Japan. Let me tell you something, Fuller. Don't you dare wear no T-shirt out there with that trash written all over it, because I will tear it off of you, sonny boy, like I did here in this studio today. And let me tell you something more, further boy there. Dirt farmer, tater farmer, when I get there, I'm going to be sporting a three-piece suit, baby. I'm going to be walking that walk and talking that talk, and I'm going to kick your butt, son, like you ain't never had with this leather strap. I'm going to beat you black and blue, boy. Your mama ain't going to know your face.
Well, Paul, Saito is very upset about losing that title.
You know, that's very true. He said I went out and stole that belt. Well, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But one thing remains, that I do have that belt, Saito. And when I step into that ring with you, there's going to be a lot of things happening out there. You know, I haven't forgot what you did to me on that TV when you split my head open. I haven't forgotten that one bit. And if you're expecting a wrestling match from me, well, you're mighty wrong. Because when I step into that ring with you, all heck's going to break loose, brother. Somebody's going to get hurt, Saito, before this is all over.
Ron, this is the match you've been wanting.
That's right. Non-sanctioned. Nobody wants to touch it, but come Monday night in Boutwell, I'm going to be kicking your butt with these boots, Jimmy Golden. I'm going to be wearing them. I got a bunch of these. I ain't got just one. I got about 4 or 5 of them, and exactly what they say is going to come true Monday night. Your butt is mine in Boutwell.
This TV show had to be building to something exploding. I remember Ron Bass was going to be defending his newly won Southeastern Championship belt. That had to be the upcoming, last match on the show. So I think Brian is going to play that one for us right now. Let's do it.
Our next match is a Southeastern Heavyweight Championship title match. This is a title match. Introducing the challenger in the corner to my left at 224 pounds from Oklahoma, Roy Welch. Roy Welch. And the champion at 280 pounds from Pampa, Texas, Ron Bass. Ron Bass.
Big outlaw Ron Bass, Southeastern heavyweight champion, taking on Roy Welch.
Bass very proud of that championship belt. Of course, a lot of tough men waiting in the wings for a shot at that Southeastern heavyweight belt. And one of those men joining us now at the desk, Ron Fuller.
I hope y'all don't mind. I'd like to watch this match really close up, because once I get to rolling, it's going to be this guy right here I'm going to be looking at, because I'd certainly like to be the Southeastern champion. Bass is certainly a big, strong man and quite a wrestler. For his size, he probably moves around as well as anybody in the country. There's a nice move. I like seeing that right off.
Missing that headbutt. Roy moving, waiting in the arm drag. Nice takedown. And Roy's geared up for this one.
Well, I think Bass may have overstepped his boundaries by putting up the title here today on television, and I think he may be a little bit overconfident. Roy Welch is a great wrestler. He's got a background, and he's a fine competitor in the ring, and he's going to give Bass a heck of a match, I'd say.
Bass breaking down using the hair there. Roy was able to get him back up. There again with that use of the leg. For a little leverage, takes his man back down, and Roy's digging in and hanging tough on that offense.
Bass using that bottom rope for the break. Going to the bottom rope.
You know, I feel like that Bass may not be able to hang on to the Southeastern Championship too much longer anyhow. Lucas is certainly wanting to get his hands on him, and Lucas may end up winning the championship before I could even possibly get a shot at it. But I'd certainly like a chance at the Southeastern Championship. It's the biggest, most prestigious title in the southern United States, no doubt about it.
Roy's using Bass's size and weight to his advantage thus far, Ron, and he's done a very good job of controlling Bass.
Well, he's staying real low, and he's staying underneath that weight, and he's able to maneuver around and use some arm drags and some takedowns. Bass is an awfully big man and a strong man, but Roy's using that speed to his advantage, which is smart. It's the only thing he can do, wrestling a man the size of Bass.
Droppers like one. Takes Bass once again to that canvas.
Bass trying one of his favorite maneuvers there to make the referee think that his opponent pulled his hair. He's famous for that maneuver.
Bass puts him into the ropes and goes for that shot with a knee on the break, and this could change the tide of battle.
Well, Bass, once he opens up, he's the type of guy that likes to stay right on top of you. He'll keep you going as much as he can and take advantage of you as much as possible at that point.
And now, wait a minute, boy. Wait a minute. We got another fight going outside of the ring over at our broadcast desk. We've got two matches actually taking place.
Ron Bass and Roy Welch in the ring. Ron Fuller, as you can see, and Jimmy Golden on the floor of our studio. Golden came to the desk, grabbed Ron Fuller, and this is the result. Bass out now to help Golden, tearing the shirt off of Ron Fuller, and Fuller's in a situation where he's got 2-on-1. Golden and Bass shoving Fuller into the ring, moving in. Fuller blocking Golden, going in low. Ken Lucas moves out. He jumps in to help out here, grabs Ron Bass. Fuller and Golden, Bass and Lucas battling it out in that ring. Stan Lane moving out now. Lane goes in and starts in behind Lucas now. Jerry Stubbs goes in the ring.
Saito coming in.
I think every wrestler we've got the contract, Joe. Paul Orndorff now. That's the confusion in that ring. The match between Bass and Roy Welch, and you see the result.
We need to get out of this and try to restore some kind of order. Let's get out of it, Jerry.
All right, it looks like I might have been right about that explosion on the end of the TV show. It was crazy. All right, but was it all over?
Yeah, there was one more pre-recorded interview in this one to close out this show.
All right, we're going to roll that one for you right now. So here comes that interview, the last one on this TV show.
And Ken Lucas, and on the 13th, he'll be defending that title against outlaw Ron Bass. Right now, let's hear from the challenger.
Ken Lucas, you've been a mighty lucky man. The Southeastern heavyweight title has just eluded me just so much. It's just slipped through my fingers just ever so slightly. I intend to make an amends for that. I intend to grab it and hold on to it and keep it for a while, Ken Lucas, because I'm telling you right now, son, that sick little nasty mind of yours, I'm going to have to get down right there with you. I'm going to get down the gutter with you and show you how us gutter rats can fight, baby, and I'm going to take that Southeastern heavyweight title, my friend.
Kenny, whether he's a braggart or not, outlaw Ron Bass is certainly a tough competitor.
He's a very tough competitor. You know, he was the former champion. He held this belt last. And he talks about devious minds and having no morals or anything. We know I can get right down and get real dirty, too, and if it really comes down to that. Now, Ron Bass has made a lot of threats to me. He's made a lot of things to say what he's going to do when he gets his belt. But let me tell you one thing, Ron Bass, talking is different than producing. And one thing for sure, my man, when I come in the ring against you in Birmingham, I want you to know one thing. I'm coming in there to keep that belt. And, Ron Bass, if you're in my way, I'm going to walk right over you because I'm going to keep this belt. You've complained. You said you haven't had a chance to get this belt. I've defended against you 3 times, and if you don't get it this coming week, you're out of luck, man. You'll never get a chance at it. So I want to say one thing to you. Keep your head right. Come down there and try to get it, but you're not going to get it.
Of course, a lot of people feel that Ron Fuller helped you take that belt away from Jimmy Golden, but nonetheless, Ron Bass was there to help Golden win it. You may look for Golden on Monday night the 13th, too, Ken.
Well, I'll tell you one thing for sure. If Mr. Tennessee Stud's there, will be no Golden come in that ring. And I'll guarantee you one thing, like I said before, Mr. Ron Bass, you're going to be in for a night of a lot of action because I'm planning on keeping this belt.
Monday night, April the 13th, bell time, 8 p.m., Birmingham's Boutwell Auditorium, a super Southeastern wrestling card with an unsanctioned Southern street fight match, Fuller against Golden.
Ron, I tell you what, this was a tremendous TV show. It had one of the wildest endings of any TV show I ever saw. And I remember as a young man watching these, it was like, oh my God, now they're running out of time and this is exploding in the studio. So it seemed like you had some of the craziest TV shows that ended that way, which made us all go, oh my God, we can't miss the matches at the Farm Center in our case. All right, so what happened in the arenas the next week? Set that up for us now.
Bearcat Brown, who I think was living actually in Nashville at that point, got a big win over the Mask, El Diablo, in the first match of that night. In the United States Junior Heavyweight Championship match, the champion Stan Lane versus Jerry Stubbs Boy, I watched this match, and they wrestled 4 times because each one of the major markets had the same card, and I actually watched all 4 of them because the first one was so good. It was a 30-minute time limit match, and the time limit expired. It had to be one of the greatest junior heavyweight matches in history. The Alabama Championship return match between the new champion, Paul Orndorff, and Master Saito, man, it had the building on their feet. Both men were disqualified. There was no winner, except maybe the fans, who absolutely loved it. Man, wow, those 2 guys were both brutal. It was quite a match. The Southeastern Tag Tornado Championship match was with all 4 men in the ring at the same time was the next match, and it also had no winner, except again for the fans who just were really, really into this one too. And this match was going to be returning the following week, and it was going to come back in a very unusual and extremely dangerous match, a 4-man elimination tag team match, which I don't think had ever been done, maybe, potentially. And obviously, the problem here was if one man lost, the first guy to lose, he was going to leave his partner in the ring by himself with the other 2. And so, and that was going to be a 2-on-1 advantage for the rest of that matches. And obviously, chances of a man coming back from that and beating both of the other 2 guys on the other team was extremely small. So, it was a unique match, something that we came up with, and wow, it turned out to be extremely exciting too. The last championship match of the night saw Ken Lucas. He had a sleeper hold on Ron Bass. End of it. It was over. And Stan Lane came running down to the ring and jumped in behind Lucas's back and nailed him and started putting the boots to him. The referee disqualified Bass for the outside interference, and he raised Ken Lucas' hand. But he couldn't win the belt, obviously, on a disqualification. So the following week, both Bass and Lane, who had started on Lucas, here came Jerry Stubbs. He arrived in the ring, and he chased both of those guys away. Next week, the 4 of them were going to be coming back against each other in a special tag team match. Then the last match of the night was the Southern Street Fight between me and Jimmy Golden. And we both started the match fully dressed. And I mean fully dressed, with boots on, with taped fists, with shirts on. Wow, these Southern Street Fights were brisk brawls. And I had 4 of those blue T-shirts with Golden's Bud Is Mine on them, which was hand painted on my blue T-shirts, and I was wearing one of them. In fact, on one of the interviews earlier in the show here, people probably noticed it, and I had one of those for every Southern Street Fight that week between me and Golden, and obviously. My shirt didn't last very long, but neither did Golden's. And Golden even lost his blue jeans. I tore his pants off before it was over, and he had thank goodness he had on some underwear at least, so during the course of the match, man, I decided that you're going to end up naked here if I can do anything about it. So I ended the match by getting a win, and when he jumped off the top rope. The way I beat him is he climbed up on the top rope. He had me down. He thought it was over, and I had my boot off, and it was laying in the ring, and I reached and grabbed it. He didn't see me grab the boot, and when he jumped off to hit me, I hit him in the head with that boot and covered him for the pin, man. And after that, he didn't even admit defeat watching the match back on TV. He never even said he got beat. So next week's Studcast, we're going to have some video of one of these Southern Street Fights we had. which we don't normally do that. I don't tell ahead of time what we're going to see, but we're going to see a piece of one of those Southern street fights that I just described. And fans are going to get a good idea of just how violent and punishment and exhausting these type of matches were. I mean, we were just both just truly it had to be held back to the dressing room. You couldn't get back by yourself. Ron Bass, he couldn't keep himself from getting involved at the end of this one. And when it was all over and I had won it, Bass came in, he hit me, knocked me down, and Golden finally got back up on his feet, and Bass held him, and all of a sudden Jimmy Golden decided he was Muhammad Ali. He started just giving me rights and lefts, and he jabbing, and and finally Ken Lucas, thank goodness, came down to the ring and he got it stopped, and and it was something that was going to lead, man, to the next week as well, in which it was going to be the next step in continuing this feud between me and Jimmy Golden. And we were going to end up the following week having a 10-round boxing match the next week. I was going to have Lucas as my second in my corner. Bass was going to be Golden's second in his corner.
Holy cow, I've forgotten that. Wow. All right, so a boxing match. I can't wait to see that. All right, so how about the crowds? What were the crowds like in all four of the major cities? You had to have them stirred up. So what was that like?
Well, Birmingham came back, like I said, after a week with no matches, and it came back just as if it had never missed a night. Sometimes when you had you missed your regular night, you would have a little drop in your crowds because fans had forgotten about it or didn't quite remember it. But wow, Birmingham had no letdown, man. The week before it had 6,200, which was a full building, a packed building. They weren't supposed to put that many people into that building. And this time we pushed it up to 6,300.
Wow.
So, Mobile just kept rolling along, man. It did its usual 6,000. That's all the Expo Hall would hold. And the policemen were really, really hot and heavy on us there, especially the fire marshal. And he didn't want to let us ever get these big over sellouts. So that's all they would allow us was 6,000, and then they cut us off every time in Expo Hall. Montgomery had 4,500, and Dothan went up another 100 people to 5,300. So it ended up with 22,000 fans in 4 nights. And besides that 22,000, Dave, in the 2 Pensacola markets, Pensacola and Panama City, one on Thursday, Panama on Thursday, Pensacola on Sunday, they had 8,000 more in Florida.
Wow. Okay, so the Southeastern Territory in Knoxville had at one time had been called the best little territory in the world. And I'm telling you, after the crowds being drawn at this time on the Gulf Coast, it was no exaggeration for the Southeastern Territory down there to be called the best small territory in the world. And that's why so many wrestlers wanted to come there. All right, this has been another great one. So where are we going to be riding next week on this Studcast?
Like I said in the early part of this Studcast, next week we're going to be in the second week of a tremendous 3 weeks of wrestling history. The card was going to have some really different types of matches. I've already mentioned a couple of things. Masa Saito was still trying to get the Alabama belt back. He had challenged Paul Orndorff to put the belt up against him and what was probably going to be, Dave, I'm pretty sure the only Japanese death match in American wrestling history.
Wow.
So Saito is going to get his type of match to get his belt back. And it was wild. World fans will be seeing some of this next week as well, this match. And one of the rules was the top rope on the ring was removed before the match ever started.
Wow.
So Bob and Brad were going up after the Southeastern tag belts again. And this time it was in that 4-man elimination tag match that I mentioned earlier, which was really, really going to turn out to be an unbelievably good match. And we never thought that it would be that interesting, and it really, really turned out to be amazing. The main event was going to be next week, that 10-round boxing match with Golden, seconded by Ron Bass, and me, seconded by Ken Lucas. And somebody was definitely going to get knocked out.
Okay, I'm curious about the top rope being removed. I'm pretty certain you're not going to tell me anything about that. And so I know I'm going to have to wait till next week. All right, and speaking of getting knocked out, you have knocked this one out of the park, Stud. Any final words on this Studcast?
Well, I want to thank all the subscribers to the TennesseeStudStreaming.com channel for your support. We really appreciate you backing us, and we can't wait to bring you even more. And please take care of yourselves and others, and may God bless us all.
For Ron Fuller in the Great Smoky Mountains, I'm David Summers saying thank you for listening. Find me at davidsummersproductions@gmail.com. This Studcast is a David Summers production for Tennessee Stud, LLC.